put your tits away.
Put your tits out. Okay. Hi, guys. Welcome back to Two Girls, One Bong.
The podcast that's better if you're stoned, and I will just pluck out your eyelashes and make them into a voodoo doll if you're not. My name is MacDizzle.
I'm Joya. You might recognize us from your favorite viral video, or you might have been watching our content for the last 8 years.
If you are new here, welcome. If you're returning, slay. We love to have you here. We are the original two girls, and we've been making content together for almost a decade, and we're so happy to have you here.
We so are.
Let's dive on
Let's dive on in.
Hey guys, happy Wednesday. We hope you're having a slay day. Okay, can I talk about slay for a second?
Yeah.
Do you remember like 2017 when you couldn't stop saying lit?
Yeah.
It's me with slay currently. I can't stop saying slay.
I mean, how could you?
Well, it's my sister's fault because she says it in a very dry, unenthused tone. And I've picked that up from her. Very Gen Z, very apathetic.
Very Gen Z. Insanely Gen Z.
Yeah, she's like, oh, slay. Instead of slay, you know?
Yeah.
And no, I just say slay to everything. Everything.
You're not the only one. I feel like I hear slay constantly.
It's getting out of hand.
There's one time we were hanging out with one of Adam's friends, and he was talking about this girl. This guy like has not had a girlfriend the whole time I've known him, but he like wants to. He's talking about some girl that he liked, that he was like kind of talking to. And he was like, I really like, it was going really well. And then like I was hanging out with her and her friends one night, and she just kept saying slay pussy purr like every 30 seconds.
Slay pussy purr.
That's fucking completely sent me. Like I was like crying, laughing.
So
like,
that's when things took a turn for the worse.
Yes, like yes. This guy's like super picky. I don't know what it is, but
yeah,
it was.
You want a girlfriend that bad, but still be like, she said slay pussy purr.
I know, like it's literally ridiculous.
I'd sound like I would give her my number. I would like to hang out.
I know, same. I was like,
a good time.
She sounds really fun. Like,
like a really fun person.
Yeah,
like
that made me laugh so hard. I was literally like, I was like on the edge of my seat, like waiting for what he was about to say of like why it didn't work out. And then he was like, she just kept saying slay pussy purr. And I was fucking dying. So yeah, slay pussy purr, queen.
Speaking of dating,
yeah.
I have a friend of a friend who is recently single, and he's never really had to like work to date. And my friend is trying to give him some pointers on how to speak to women and like how to use apps.
Is the guy just like hot, or what do you mean he's never had to work?
No, it's just the way it works is like some girl will just like him, and then they'll like force him into dating her.
Oh, I feel like I know
it's
who
just
you're
like
talking
a
about.
weird, like it's like weird girls like take a liking to him, and they like.
Do I know
like,
who you're talking about?
Dating. Bleep this out, Jordan.
You can type
Devin.
in the chat.
Bleep this out, Devin.
Yeah, that's who I thought it was. That's who I thought it was. Yeah.
Okay. So he's recently in the dating scene, and he went on 2 dates. One of them not so great. He didn't like the girls' boxy clothes, so they don't talk anymore. And then second
this is giving the slay pussy purr situation to the T.
I promise you, you're gonna love the way that this ends.
Okay.
The second date, he went out and smitten. Absolutely in love with this girl. And based on their correspondence that he's been sending to my friend to verify if everything's okay, it doesn't seem like she's all that interested. Can I tell you a quote? One thing that he said.
Please.
He said in a text message, "Hey, can I tell you something?" And she says, yeah, sure. This is after
she said,
yeah. She said,
okay.
Yeah, sure. And he says, I feel like I should have kissed you. Yeah. and she's like, I can tell. It's okay.
Are we literally 12?
Literally, that's what I was saying. I was like, he's almost 30.
I should have kissed you.
I feel like I should have kissed you. Like, ew. First of all, it's giving me Joe Goldberg vibes.
Who's that?
Okay. Joe from You.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hey.
Anyways, and so
can I tell you something? That's all I needed, honestly. Like, yeah.
And
Okay.
so this girl doesn't seem all that interested, and he keeps trying to set up like another date, and she keeps like being busy,
giving like a reason why she
she's like, well,
can't.
I'm gonna be here, I'm gonna be gone, I'm not, but I think they do have a follow-up date on Monday, so I'll have an update for you guys
Oh
next
my
week.
God, please, I need to know.
But they went on this date, and no, so he keeps trying to set up this second date, and she just doesn't seem down. And he keeps sending these screen grabs to my friend to kind of like be like, what does this mean? Why is she saying this? And the man says, if this is actually over, this hurts more than when my ex broke up with me. He said, I can't explain the devastation that I'm feeling right now. My chest is vibrating. One date made this man's chest hurt. So, ladies, when you hear about like, oh man, she made his chest hurt, it's real. It is a real documented illness that they experience.
That is the weirdest fucking thing I have ever heard. If someone texted me those words after one date, I would block them on every fucking thing. I would block them on any social media. I would block their phone number. Yeah. Hopefully she hasn't told him where she lives, because he literally sounds obsessed.
No, he is. He's not even swiping on other girls right now.
All his eggs in one basket.
One basket.
You fucking pussy. What are you doing?
Anyway, so if there's any men listening right now, here's what not to do.
Yeah.
Okay. And also, he bought a dating book. Chapter 1 is about how to not be needy. He says it's going to change his life.
How long was he with the ex?
3 years.
3 years. That's not even that. It was
like COVID. It was COVID dating.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wow. Though, some people are just fucking weird. And like you said, there's probably going to be somebody out there that takes a liking to his weirdness. As with everyone. It's like there's somebody out there for everyone.
Unfortunately, I don't think it's this girl, though.
Right. Doesn't seem as such. So, wow. Well, that was extremely pleasant. Please keep us updated.
And I will.
Dying to know.
Yeah. Secretly, I'm preying on this man's downfall. I don't even like have any strong feelings about him. I hated his ex.
Yeah.
So you think I'd be rooting for the guy?
Well, it was like him and his ex were in the same boat for a long time. Like,
yeah, boo boat,
yeah.
The boo boat, not the sleigh boat.
No, period. No.
Oh my God,
it's definitely the boo boat. I'm gonna take a bong rip. Would you like to?
Oh my God! Yes. Yo, that's actually funny, because I was going to the bathroom right before this, and I was like, I want to smoke. And then I was like, wait, first hit of the day with Joya on the street, on the podcast.
Slay pussy purr queen. House down boots mama.
Slay pussy purr. I'm going to start saying that now.
Yeah. It's slay way better than... Yeah. It really hammers it home.
I'm sad that she only keeps that as a part of her vocabulary when she's around friends. I feel like she should expand it to when she's around everyone.
Yeah. And honestly, okay, this girl, now that I think about it, I'm pretty sure that, so he was talking about how it wasn't really going great, but we hung out with her that night. And I really liked her.
She's a slay.
I liked her a lot. She was dope. And they just, they had kind of, I think he just never really actually liked her that much and was just kind of stringing her along. But I really liked her.
Slay pussy purr. If that's it.
Yeah, I know.
She's not saying any slurs. She's not racist.
She's not being a bad person.
She's not being hateful.
She's just being fun and dope and cool. Slay pussy purr.
Slay pussy purr.
Yeah.
I love her. Shout out to her. This one's for her.
Period. I want to say her name so bad, but I won't. But this goes for you, girl. I've been smoking this weed. Oh no, is she okay? Is she okay? She doesn't seem okay. She seems okay. She doesn't seem okay. No, she's good.
Do you know the way Cheerios taste? Like the aftertaste in your throat?
Regular Cheerios?
Yeah, like plain Cheerios.
Haven't had those in a long time. So
sometimes my Bong grip, like the aftertaste just reminds me of Cheerios. And that's what's happening right now.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Weird, right?
Yeah. Huh. I would love to know. Please comment if you know what the fuck she's talking about. That's super interesting.
Oh no, it's like a weird burnt taste. All right, well, since we're here, let's talk about Tory Lanez and Megan Thee Stallion.
If you don't want to do the time, don't do the crime.
Well, I see that a lot of people are upset because they're like, oh, this incident shouldn't be 10 years, like blah, blah, blah. Yeah. But like, what I think a lot of people are ignoring are the aggravating circumstances and the charges that he was actually charged with. He was not just charged with recklessly unloading a firearm. Discharging. That was not the only thing. He was not allowed to have that firearm. He was on probation. And that alone is a 6-year sentence, I think.
Well, there you go.
So like violating your probation and having that gun or whatever alone was like 6 years. And then he could have faced a maximum of 22. For all of the charges that he had, he could have been in jail for 22 years if the judge wanted him to, but they gave him 10. And I am 100% in favor of this. I think it sends a wonderful message to men who want to perpetrate violence against women, and most especially Black women. And I think the fact that we're all, not all, but there are so many people who are still defending this man when a jury of our peers said guilty, which I understand isn't foolproof, isn't flawless. Sometimes innocent people go to jail. But given the publicity of this case and everything, like, I just don't think they're going to make those kinds of mistakes.
Right. Well, and also let's not forget that his defense at the beginning was, I didn't shoot the gun. Kelsey shot the gun.
But then she didn't.
And so then his defense was, I didn't do it. But if I did do it, it would have been because of, what did he say? Like addiction, like alcoholism, and mental illness or something.
One thing that I did disagree with the judge saying. Yeah. Well, one thing, so I do believe that he's an alcoholic. I believe that the definition of alcoholic is a little skewed for people who haven't been in AA and who haven't gone through those programs. That's a person with multiple DUIs and who's on day 36. No drinking. I am abundantly aware of the various ways that people can be categorized as an alcoholic.
Definitely.
Like me, I'm a high functioning alcoholic. I take care of my own problems. Obviously, it does create issue. You know what's so funny? Can I just say something that's so funny? And I doubt that the person who commented this is here, but on my most recent YouTube video, I did like, hey, I've been sober for 30 days update. Like, what's changed in my life?
I watched it. I cried.
Oh, you're so sweet. I love you.
I love you so much.
And somebody commented and they're like, alcoholics are so funny. Like, you said this hasn't affected your life as if you didn't tear open your eye one night from drinking. And I got really twisted about it. I was like, first of all, I've broken multiple bones sober. Okay, so relax.
Fair.
But on that same note, they didn't deserve that from me. That was just me feeling like they were trying to be negative.
They were trying to be negative. So that person was trying to be negative in the way that they worded that. They could have said that in a way nicer way, which may have
been the intention, whatever. It was fucking rude to me.
Yeah, it was.
I read it.
So fuck that person.
Yeah, so I was just like,
you trying to funny a little.
It is kind of funny though. It is kind of true.
Exactly.
So my initial reaction was to respond and be like, fuck you, my dick. Because like, how dare you try to rain on my moment of greatness?
Literally.
Like, I'm doing a good thing for myself. Why would you try to be mean? Like, why? What's the point of that?
Because they're fucking miserable. That's why.
And so I responded.
Also funny because that person's been around for like a minimum of 4 years, so they're actually like, that's kind of funny.
That was also a long time ago. Like,
yeah, I
hate that people still reference that. Like, it's relevant in my life still. That happened such a long time ago, bro. Yeah. Anyways, like high school ago.
Right,
we
a very long
graduated.
time ago.
We've moved past it. We're not still talking about what they did freshman. Maybe they are.
Fucking losers.
Okay, but
keep going.
So my initial reaction was to be like, what the fuck, bro? How dare you? But then like I sat and I thought about it a little bit like over the next couple days, and I was like, yeah, that's valid. You've had 2 arrests, 3 arrests for alcohol, 1 walking, 4 arrests for alcohol.
Wow. What's the
I got in a fight walking home, 2 DUIs.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Right. So I have 4 arrests for alcohol. What happened? My car, I didn't get in any car accidents in my DUIs. But there was another incident that happened recently. Well, my eye, obviously.
Yeah.
There's that. But yeah, like if I really like look at my track record of horrific things that happen in my life, half the time usually alcohol is involved. And so I think it's pretty fair to say that my life is affected. Yeah. Right. In the sense that it does affect my life.
Yeah.
But
I think you can just say that it hasn't completely ruined it.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm high functioning enough to be able to be like, my life is still fine after all of this shit. But like a different person might not be.
Yeah.
Like with less resources, less money, less support, like they might not be okay.
Yeah.
Privilege, honey. So as I was saying, as a person who's very aware and been through Alcoholics Anonymous and all of that a lot, the judge said there's no proof that Tory Lanez was an alcoholic at the time of this incident. And while I can understand that there might not be any proof, I think if people are firing off guns while they're drunk, that's a pretty good indication that alcohol is bad for you, doing bad things for you.
And that it's affecting you in a negative
and basically
way. That's clearly your decision making.
Yeah. And AA, how they categorize it is alcoholic could be anything from you drink once a year, you could still be an alcoholic. You don't drink ever, you could still be an alcoholic. It's literally an ongoing disease that you're battling. And so to be like, this is an alcoholic, this isn't, is kind of difficult to
that doesn't really
identify.
Make sense.
Like, because alcoholism is different for everybody.
Totally.
I've never shot a gun when I'm drunk, but if I did, I would be checking myself into fucking rehab.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, and what would be like
the proof?
Somebody could be drinking a bottle a day at home alone and no one ever sees.
Yeah, exactly.
And so there's no proof that that person is an alcoholic.
I do believe he's an alcoholic. I do believe he's an alcoholic. Where I have a problem is I take accountability for every fucking thing that I ever did while I was drunk. I had to apologize to people when I was rude or said hateful things, Joya being one of them. Like, you know, you just kind of...
Hateful is not the right word, but...
It wasn't hateful. I was frustrated. I was fucking frustrated.
Yeah.
And I felt like I was being ganged up on.
Yeah.
Anyways, so I've had to make amends for those things. And I think the problem that I have with him being like, oh, I did it because I'm an alcoholic. No, you didn't. You did it because that's what you did. Like, all the things I did those things. It wasn't like a different Mackenzie was here.
Yeah.
Like, that person lives inside of me.
Right.
Fucking own up to it.
Yeah, so, totally.
I hate it when people try to like blame crimes on.
Yeah. I mean, and God forbid that he actually like, remember how she said that he literally said dance bitch? Like, if that actually happened, this runs so fucking deep. Like, you don't say something like dance bitch while you're shooting at somebody if just because you're drunk, like you said. Like, that is very much like something that is inside of him,
that lives inside of you.
One thing I will say is that I think that our prison system is really fucked and our justice system is really fucked. And so
go ahead.
I don't enjoy the immediate jump to punish. I think that definitely this person is violent. So like if you're violent, I'm sorry, like you gotta go. Like I feel like prisons should be reserved for only violent people. But I also think that there is something to be said about our culture and the way that we are like, lock him up, like under the jail, like whatever. I think that as Americans, we have that runs really deep in our culture, and I don't love that.
I think it's because the entire prison industrial complex, like it's ingrained in our brain that here's the thing. We need to have more rehabilitation. That doesn't exist in our prison system. There's no rehab happening. Most of the people who exit prison reoffend. Like it's some crazy, it's like 75% or something. It's some crazy high number. Not to fucking talk about dogs, but to talk about dogs. One program that they are doing in prisons is this rescue called Marley's Mutts. They'll rescue dogs from
Mutts.
They'll rescue dogs from like dog fighting, medical cases, whatever, like really, really traumatized, not social dogs that have really bad behavioral issues.
Yeah.
And they'll take them to these inmates and they'll live with the inmates, and the inmates are part of a program to train these dogs, change their attitudes. And so it's like, go ahead.
No, I've met a dog that was in a program like that. So when in Walla Walla, Washington, where my dad is from, it's the most random thing. My brother and I know this guy. I've known him since junior high. Randomly, he moves there. We went to hang out with him, and his friend had the sweetest. It was a big pity. She was a big girl, and she was one of those dogs that went and they had a journal with all of her progress. So they would put like learned how to sit, like learned how to shake, like
it's really sweet because like the way that I've heard interviews from some of the inmates who have done it, and the reason I brought this up is because the recidivism rate of that program is like less than 1%. Like almost nobody reoffends if they graduate with that program because they get out of jail and they go join rescues, they go become dog trainers, they go do these things with these skills that they've learned. Because one of the interviews that these men said is they're taking these dogs that are broken and they see themselves in these animals, and they see that nobody has ever taken the time to love this animal, treat it properly, give it the tools it needs to succeed,
and see the good in it.
Exactly. See the good. And so to see prisoners like see themselves in these, oh my God, it's the sweetest fucking thing. If you guys ever want to like cry a little bit, go to Marley's Mutts page and just look up their prison program, because it is one of the best things I've ever seen humanity do.
That is truly so amazing. That literally makes me so happy.
It's so sweet. It's one of the sweetest things. And during COVID, like it got so pushed back. It was not a priority for prisons, obviously. So they're trying to like still gain funding and do all like this should be in every single prison. This should be in every single fucking prison forever.
Especially with how many dogs that we have out in the fucking shelters.
And the number of dogs that would benefit, and then the number of people. Like they do it in women's prisons and men's prisons. And I'm telling you, the people who get out, who graduated this program, they don't go back to jail after. Why wouldn't you want that? As a society, why wouldn't we want these people to, because they're gonna get out.
Yeah.
They're gonna get out of jail. Do you want them to just commit another crime, go back in, or come out and start contributing in the way that you fucking said?
They definitely do want them to commit another crime and go back to the jail.
I guess that's fair.
The people who own the prisons get paid for every bed that's filled.
Yeah. I guess that makes sense. Yeah.
That's the prison industrial complex. It's like the fucking cops and the judges get funding from the people who pay the politicians and the governments who donate, because they own the fucking prisons and they make money on whoever fucking comes in there. But that is fucking literally incredible. Like that is so amazing, and that makes me so happy. I had to look up the recidivism rates in the US when we were talking about it. So it says 44% of criminals.
44%. That's still almost half. In there, 1 in 2.
That's within their first year out, actually. That's pretty crazy. And we have the highest recidivism rate in the entire world.
Yeah.
Obviously. We put people in jail for anything.
Well, anything. Like, you're addicted to crack. Guess what? Go get clean and get addicted to crack again, and we'll put you back.
Here's $20 for a bus ticket. Figure it out.
Oh my God, did you ever watch Shawshank Redemption?
No, I don't think so. I've heard of that, obviously, but I don't think I've ever watched it.
There's this scene towards the end where this old man who's been in prison for like 60 years, like he went in when he was a teenager for some crime. He like stole a TV or something. I don't really remember what happened. It might have been bad. Maybe he killed somebody, stabbed somebody, whatever. But like he spent like 60,
maybe he stole a TV.
Years.
Maybe he murdered somebody. I don't know.
Way, he was a teenager when it happened.
Right.
And they put him in prison and he spent his whole life there. And he was like this sweet, sweet old man by the end of it. And he gets out of jail, like he gets parole and he gets out and he does not know how to live in the world. Everyone's moving so fast. There's cars, there's phones, there's all these things that he's never seen before. And he ends up just hanging himself.
Fuck.
And it's just like such a testament on like how we do not prepare people to leave that place. Like we're so ready to send them in there, but like we don't do anything about the fact that like they're going to get out. What are they going to do? They're still humans.
Yeah. That reminds me of Khalif Browder. Do you know who that is?
Oh my God. I don't. That is one of the saddest stories in fucking history. The way that they abused him while he was in there wrongfully. So basically, if you don't know his story, he was wrongfully convicted, abused, sent to.
He actually was never even convicted.
Oh yeah, so they just kept him in there. It was like this huge, like
he couldn't get out on bail.
Yeah, and they put him in solitary confinement basically his whole time in there, and he lost his shit.
He was in Rikers for like 4 years, and he went in there as like a 19-year-old or something.
And then when he got out, because he had spent so much time in solitary confinement, like he just could not adjust to anything. His mind was melted at that point. Like humans need other humans, and putting people in solitary is one of the cruelest things that you can do. Truly. It's the easiest, cruelest thing you can do. It doesn't require you to get your hands dirty, but my God, the damage that you're doing to that individual is...
Yeah. That's crazy.
Insane.
That's a really interesting way to put it, because, you literally don't have to put in any effort. Like, that's it.
Your conscience feels pretty clean because you don't get to see the damage that you're doing to this person.
Yeah.
Like, you might... Like, I would feel better if you just punched him in the head. Like, you know, like, see what you're doing at this point.
Yeah. And that's fucking crazy.
So all in all, I would love to see Tory get some sort of rehab in jail. I would love to see him get some sort of guidance. I would love to see everybody who does this shit get some very real therapy and fucking help, bro. He obviously needs some women's studies, like all of this shit to understand like how much violence. Like I the thing is, I don't know if men care. That's the thing. Like men who perpetrate violence against women, I don't know if you tell them the statistics and you show them these things, if they're going to care.
No, I think the only time that they ever, and if they ever end up caring, they have to draw parallels between
it's like their mom,
women,
your sister.
Yeah.
Like, but some people fucking hate their mothers too.
I saw a tweet. It was like a skit that someone did, and they were like, they're so it's a boyfriend and a girlfriend walking, and some woman drops her purse, and the boyfriend, picks it up and gives it to her. And then the girlfriend in the skit continuously drops her purse so that her man can pick it up for her. And she's like, I don't know what the caption was, but somebody quoted it and was like, God forbid y'all end up with a man who really does not give a shit about any woman around him. Like, those are the people that we need. Like a man who sees a woman in distress and
protects
helps her.
Yeah. Those are the men we're saying are shit.
Right.
When we say men ain't shit, that guy isn't included. The man who tries to help and actively help women and puts himself in harm's way to help women.
Yeah.
Superhero to me. Like, period. The bar's in hell, so
I'm talking about you.
Superhero. Thank you, Spider-Man. Like, Jesus.
Thank you, Spider-Man. The bar is in hell, but
my God.
Thank you, Spider-Man. Yeah. Another
Do you remember when men used to put their coats over puddles so women could like walk across the puddle without getting their feet wet?
Oh my God.
I want to be that helpless. Oh, I don't want any rights. Oh. Okay, I'm so sorry. But
Not a funny joke.
Every time I see a girl doing it's like, do you remember that there was like this TikTok audio? I don't remember what it was, but the trend was like, oh wow, you can do this now. And then the people are like,
Yes.
yeah, we can.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh wow, you can work now. And they're like, like, I don't think you understand how much you would fucking hate to rely on man for every single thing that you have in this world.
You literally could not have a bank account. You couldn't have
vote.
A license.
You couldn't have a bank account. If the man wanted you to have 10 kids, guess what you're going to do?
Yeah.
You're going to have 10 kids. Hey.
What a fucking miserable world.
Like, you couldn't even have a little walking around. Like, I'll take it a step further. There were times, and there are still times, you're not allowed to go places without a man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Fucking miserable.
Anyways, I love being able to make my own money. My bank account with my name on it, I love her. I love her a lot. My option to file for divorce, I also love that right.
Period.
You know,
just in case.
Cool. I love being able to buy a house. Yeah. That's pretty sick. I think we forget about all the things that came along with the right to work.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you have the right to work now? Yes. Do you want to know what the alternative is if you don't have the right to work? What? And I know some women are already living this life and they fucking love it. And I applaud you and commend you. And I want you to keep living your stay-at-home mommy life and thrive. Like, honestly, if that's for you, slay. There are so many women. What about the gays? What about the gays?
What about
you, a woman, okay, with women not working, and you think that and knowing gay women exist, you're okay with the fact that they have to go suck a male wiener for the rest of their life to live? You are homophobic if you don't want women to work.
Period. I'm like, what about the gays? Where is she going with it?
We can't forget about our fallen sisters who literally had to endure men just so they wouldn't die.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty fucking nuts.
That's so sad.
That's horrible.
Because the men were going to the bathhouses getting freaky anyways.
Yeah.
I bet the girlies were doing it like low-key. We're like, yeah, it's our book club.
Definitely they were doing it.
It's our book club. This is my best friend, Tracy.
They were definitely doing it. I was just talking to somebody about that, actually. Because I was like literally like
shout out to
gay
the past
people and trans people have been around for
forever.
The entire.
They were part of indigenous culture.
Yeah,
which is like predates America.
Sure does. Sure does. Definitely.
So the trans people were here. The gays were here long before we were. So this land is their land.
Before Christianity. This land is their land.
This land is their fucking land. It belongs to the gay, indigenous, trans tribe.
Fuck yeah.
I don't know how I can gain access to that tribe, but it sounds like
so fun.
Not even just like the best community that I could ever be a part of.
Yeah. Sounds very safe.
Yeah. As a woman, that appeals to me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, we're respecting trans people. I know I'm included.
Yeah.
I just know that I'm getting respect then. Like, please.
Like, nobody's going to hurt me for no reason.
Never.
Yeah.
Because trans people have to work so much harder than any other group of people to gain the tiniest shred of respect in this society.
Yeah.
And it's sad.
So stupid.
You know what makes me happy, though? Brings me joy? Ron DeSantis is not doing well in his presidential campaign. I think it's really funny to me because he's like firing people on his campaign to be
he fired his campaign manager, and I was main person.
And I'm like, hey, big dog, woof woof, hey, I think it's your policies.
Yeah.
I don't think it's what you're doing. I think it's the fact that you just banned AP Psych. And that you said that slavery was helpful to some Black people and they learned skills. I think that maybe rubbed some people the wrong way.
Yeah.
I think the abortion thing, believe it or not, 70% of America does want abortion. That's the first at some point in pregnancy. Like, they think that it should be legal, some sort of it. You know,
it's
some of your
probably all those
platforms.
things. Yeah. Could any one of those things or all those things at the same time? I don't know if I said this on the podcast already, but I read something that said, because it's basically, it's going to be Biden and Trump in the next election. Like, there's nobody that's a contender on the Republican side, and obviously they're not going to just pick a new Democrat. So it's going to be those two again. But I was reading that the reason that nobody can fucking like stand against Trump, even though he has all of these fucking all like the
The thing is,
indictments
those
and the
people are so
fucking.
dug in, they don't care.
Well, here's the thing. Trump is actually, like, as big of an asshole as he is,
He's
actually
moderate.
he's a pretty moderate conservative. And so anybody that is going against him is going to his right. And then you're losing all of the moderates. There's so many moderates that are like, oh yeah, I can do Trump because he's not like the most extreme fucking
That's
Republican.
the fucking thing. And that's
God,
the fucking
I hate them all
thing.
though.
The thing is, if you're actively voting for Democrats who are taking away the rights of people that I love and adore, I cannot fuck with you. And so I understand Republicans are often like, oh, Democrats, like, they can't, like, you can't just, like, have a conversation. Like, oh, like, I could be friends with you. Why couldn't you be friends with me? And they think they're better than you for that. Here's the thing. My policies that I'm voting for, your rights are staying absolutely the fucking same. You're not losing anything. The only thing I'm trying to do is increase the rights of other people, and for some reason or another, you fucking hate that.
Yeah.
So, and I'm not saying you specifically, but if you're voting for members of the Republican Party, you need to understand
that's who's representing you.
Marjorie Taylor Greene is on your team.
Right.
I have to claim Biden. You have to claim Marjorie. That's how it works.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right. I have to claim Feinstein, 90 years old,
dead,
Democrat,
basically.
from
one
California.
Step away.
What did that one girl say? She said like something corpse, a gently used corpse is what they said.
I think that Haley said that.
No. She got it from a viral TikTok.
Oh, okay.
She got it from a viral because I saw it.
Gently used corpse.
Yeah,
that was Mitch McConnell that she said that about, so I don't know.
Yes.
That's
well, because a girl was talking about, so a girl went on this rant, read Mitch McConnell to filth, and that was one of the things that she said. Why are we allowing a gently used corpse to make decisions? You know, like, it was fucking hilarious. Love her.
Yeah.
Don't remember her name, but slay. She has really big eyes. I know that much.
Nice.
But
yeah.
Yes.
So
I
yeah,
have
if
to
we
claim
have to
Feinstein.
claim,
You got to claim our girl Marjorie with her fucking Jewish space lasers. Okay. You have
that
to.
Bitch is straight up in. She is crazy.
She keep winning her seat.
Yeah.
How many times? Like, how? Where? What? Who does she represent?
Georgia. Let's see.
The whole Georgia.
What?
The whole Georgia, like all of it.
No. She's
just a little district in Georgia.
Yeah.
Okay, I feel a little better. Good God, Georgia, what are we doing? What are we collectively doing?
Yeah. Georgia's 14th congressional district. So let me see where that is. Okay, it's north. It's the farthest northwest corner of.
Is it extremely rural?
I mean, it looks like probably most of it. Some of it's Atlanta metro area, but yeah.
Okay.
The rest of it looks very rural.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Georgia.
That bitch is straight up fucking crazy.
When was the last time Feinstein had to, she just has a lifetime appointment, doesn't she? She didn't even get voted. When did that happen? Like 100 years ago?
Right.
Like 1937, did she make it into office?
Last time that she...
Did she really make it into office in the 40s?
Right. I mean, really, like, she's... Yeah, you said she's 96?
Yeah.
Let's see. Dianne Feinstein, length of service. Oh, okay. So she is actually been a senator since 1992.
That's too long. 92. So she was already like 70, 60.
But she's literally born in 1933.
That's insane. 33? That was before the civil rights and shit. Women couldn't even vote. Or they could.
No, they
could.
Yeah, that was in the 20s. But
she was 13, she was 13 years after the right to vote.
That's like as old as my grandma, maybe like a couple of years younger than my grandma.
I understand her brain a little bit better because she got this position as a woman. She's not letting it go.
Gonna hold on to it.
But I'm gonna need her to fucking let it go.
Let's see when her last, because they're elected for 6-year terms.
Oh my God.
So
she
when
was
was her
80
last?
something, and we were like, yeah, great. Keep her in there.
She's in there for another 2 years, bro.
I know,
Another
and she
year and a
plans to
half.
serve it too. That's what's crazy. Like, she just plans to do it. My grandfather died when he was 92. Like, what are we doing?
That's what I was gonna say. My grandma is a couple years older than her, and she can't see or hear anything. Like, she could see a little bit, but like her hearing is really bad. Like,
Bro.
she's mobile, but like I cannot imagine my grandma making like decisions for an entire, because Feinstein's a senator, so she's one of 2 freaking,
and she was out of
California senators.
She was out of her office due to an injury or some kind of sickness for months.
Like
she was out of
dementia.
office for like 3 months. Yes, like that. And she was out of the office for like 3 months. And when reporters were like talking to her and were like, "Hey, how was your time away?" She's like, "I haven't been away. I've been here the whole time."
Oh my God, shut the fuck up.
No lie. No fucking lie.
That's something that I would love to see in our lifetime, a limit on, like a cap on the age that you can serve in federal government.
And I know
'Cause,
people
like,
are going to be like, that's ageist, that's this, that's that. You need to look at the people who are abusing this.
yeah. I mean, we
Look at
make it like 75. Like, I think there's a lot of 75-year-olds that are still completely sound. My dad's
Yeah.
almost 70, and he's like fucking goes to work every single
But it's
day.
not even like about being completely sound. It's literally about letting younger people get involved. That's all I want to see.
Yeah, but younger people can get involved. They can.
Her spot is not open. Like, we have to wait until her spot's open until another younger senator
for 6 years, but that's how it is anyway. No matter what.
Mean?
It's 6-year terms, so it's like anybody can come take your spot. So it's like,
I
if
guess
the
that's true. It could be another old person.
If they vote for them, then
so what would the cutoff be then? If you're running at the age of 75, are you allowed to fill out your 6-year term to 81?
I would say no. I would say that you cannot be any older than this age in the office. That would be my.
And I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
Honestly, I know that there's some people who are competent who we might be shooing out, but at the end of the day, I think it'll do more good than harm.
I completely agree.
Truly, because there are some people who just do not know when the fuck to quit. Okay, and her name is Feinstein.
Yeah, and Mitch McConnell.
He is
There's so many old ass, like, dude, they are old as
Biden.
Yes, Biden, Trump.
Get
Trump,
them.
both of them.
So old, 79 and like 81. Are we serious collectively? Dude, no. Are we serious? Is he 89?
No, he's not that old. Is he? He's 80. Okay, he's 80. He was born. Oh my God, Joe Biden is a Scorpio. Of course, Joe Biden's a Scorpio. That's so funny. So Trump is 77 and Biden is 80.
And they're like, Trump's more fit. Have you seen the man? Are we sure? And it's so funny to me when Trump calls other people fat. I'm like, dog, big dog, woof woof, hello.
Please. Just like, I cannot. That man sees himself as a fucking god, a gift to humanity.
Bizarre to me.
It is the weirdest fucking thing ever. Oh my God.
Have you seen the transcripts of Rudy Giuliani?
Yes, I have.
I just knew he talked. I already knew that.
Yeah.
I already knew he was a disgusting, disgusting animal.
Yeah, I mean, he was never, I've hated him for a long time, but personally, I was never going to be able to get past the fart in court on the microphone. And
do you remember the sweat?
The fucking dyed sweat. Oh my God. No, how about during the fucking Trump campaign when he booked a press conference at the Four Seasons and it was Four Seasons concrete or something, like Four Seasons construction.
He said, wow, it was so cheap.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Concrete was like, yes.
Like, this is exactly what we've been waiting for. Like,
we needed this kind of publicity, guys. God answered our prayers.
That's why we named ourselves the Four Seasons.
Ooh, that's so funny.
Hilarious. But yeah, I did read the transcripts of Rudy Giuliani, and yeah, they were very difficult to read. Very uncomfortable. I
could not imagine being anything feminine or young on the receiving end of that conversation. I like pictured that he was speaking to a slug. I know he wasn't, but in my head, the thing he was talking to looked like Jabba the Hutt.
That would make sense.
Just like a big, ugly space slug.
Totally. That makes it better. That makes it way better.
I think Jabba might be down for Rudy.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking about? Do you know who Jabba the Hutt is?
Yeah, absolutely. Jabba the Hutt is actually probably
iconic.
One of the only characters. Yeah. Jabba the Hutt is the main guy in my head for Star Wars.
That's who Star Wars is about.
I mean, I know the other people's names, but like, I mean,
he's literally only in one movie, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's only in one of them.
Movie, huh?
Yeah, and he has Princess Leia on a chain. It's weird and sexual. It's weird.
Wait, Jabba the Hutt is a wait. I think we've had this conversation before. So Jabba the Hutt is a bad guy?
Yeah. I think you're thinking about Jar Jar Binks.
Fuck it. God damn it. Yes, that's exactly who I'm thinking of. And we've definitely had this exact same conversation.
You need to look up Jabba the Hutt right now because Jar Jar Binks is much cuter. I'm saying this space slug.
No. I do. This is the person I'm thinking of. 100%. Okay. This is, but I just didn't realize that that's how I don't fucking know. Because I did not know he was a bad guy.
Everyone shame her for not knowing any Star Wars lore.
Yeah, and I won't be watching it either. I can't. It's really sad, like, thinking about, like, there are some, I think, like, you know, there's classic movies, but man, it is really difficult to watch some old movies because of how much, like, the quality of our freaking media now.
Yeah, like special effects and everything has gone really, really far. But recently, last night, I was watching Freddy Krueger, the first one, which is probably my favorite of the, like,
franchise.
Yeah, like character franchise type people.
Oh, okay.
You know, because like there's Michael, Jason, Freddy, and then kind of Scream, but the killer changes every single time. But so of those three, Michael, Jason, Freddy's my favorite for sure because he witty, definitely fucking creepy, but he's just funnier. He calls everyone a bitch. Like, it's really funny to me.
Okay.
And the effects in that movie for the time, I feel like were excellent. They were really, really good. And I can only imagine being in the 80s watching this film and just feeling absolute horror and terror because you've never seen anything. Like, they literally had a girl like fly up in the room and like being tossed around and like torn open. It was crazy what they were able to do with what little technology they had at the time. Like, they did a very good job with that film.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
I would.
You have to watch the old slashers just to get some horror knowledge and understand where everybody takes things from. Because once you understand these genres, the slasher genre, watching new horror, you're just like, I already know what's going to happen. This is going to happen here. Maybe it ruins it. I think it makes it better.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I feel like it would make it easier for me to watch them for sure.
I think you like the first Freddy.
Okay.
I could see you getting through it.
Okay. Definitely, I'm sure that I don't really like the super gory stuff, like when there's too much
Johnny
blood.
Depp is in it.
Okay. Nice.
And isn't too much blood. It's not like super, I mean, it's 80s gory, so like it's not,
but I also
like
like
it's a wax candle melting.
Okay. Right. I do love, like, Game of Thrones has so much blood in it, and I also love like a war movie or like a fucking like a medieval like period piece with violence. So
she loves some medieval violence.
Oh my fucking god, I love a fucking medieval show.
She wants to see someone just get stabbed with a giant sword,
dude. It's like, and especially on HBO. I swear to God, I'm going to kill Adam every single week. I have to text him and say, please be quiet. I can fucking hear you through my door. I don't know if y'all can hear it.
I can't hear him.
Okay. He stopped. But yeah, anyway, I fucking love a medieval, like, period piece, like, with some violence. I just started watching The Witcher, which I have seen it on Netflix for like ever and never watched it. And I just started it, and there's a lot of, that's what I was going to say, is that HBO, so that's on Netflix, but HBO gets so creative with the fucking violence, and like, especially like Game of Thrones, like there is like the most, people die in the most insane
That's why I'm
ways.
saying you have to watch these old slashers. The way that Jason manages to kill people, it's different every single time. Like once, like you're like, oh, he got him with a machete from underneath the bunk bed. Like some guy's just like laying there, and all of a sudden there's a machete that comes out of his chest because Jason was lying under the bed. Like it's scary.
Good. When does the new Scream come out?
It already
or
came
is
out.
it already out? Oh, it already came out. Have you watched it?
Yes, of course I did. I saw it in theaters.
I want to watch that with you.
That one was
because I love
that actress.
Jenna.
So she's in the one before this too. So she's in 2 of them. So you should watch the one before and then watch the most recent one.
Jenna Ortega.
Yeah,
like,
it's
why
Jenna
can't
Ortega.
I find her freaking last name in my
because she's in the last one and then she's in this one too. And I think the last one was better than this one.
Oh, okay. Well, I could watch. I've never seen any Scream. I watched all the scary movies, and so this like Scream in my head associates with scary movie.
So Scream, I understand what you mean and why you mean that though, because Scream in itself, it's almost like the characters know they're in a movie sometimes. Like the way that they talk about it, they're like, okay, so the way that it started, the very first Scream was there was this group of characters and one of them was like this nerdy virgin guy. And he was always like, okay, so there's murders happening. If this was a horror movie, the virgin is going to die, or the people having sex, those are the ones that die first. And so he starts laying out all of this lore of things that happen in horror. Right. And so they start to like try to guess who the killer, like the characters. It's hard to explain. Scream is a very interesting take on horror because the characters are aware of horror movies and they're acting based on some of those things. Like they distrust certain people and they'll start trusting certain people.
Interesting. So it's kind of troll a little bit. Like it's a little bit troll.
It is a little bit troll. It's definitely a little bit troll. Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
It's really good though. I really like it's you know what's so funny? Rajul started this new thing where he collects memorabilia, like he's collecting Predator stuff. And he really likes like Scream stuff. So I found this autographed Scream mask from the very first stunt double who played Scream.
Wow.
And it was only $99. I said,
oh my God.
Buy that shit.
Wow.
Yeah, so I got it. It's on its way.
That's nice of you.
Yeah.
That's
awesome. Easy. It's like if you have an easy thing that I know you will love, gonna buy it.
Definitely. My God. I love to give.
Yeah.
I love to give gifts for sure. It's funny because I suck at like actual like the times that you're supposed to give presents, but randomly. Yeah.
I'm like, oh yeah, here's this though.
Yeah, right. So yeah, I feel that.
I feel that.
Yeah, we'll have to start a list of. You know what? Why don't I just go ahead and start it right now? Our scary movie list. If you don't know, listeners and watchers, I don't really watch scary movies. First of all, my boyfriend will not ever watch one. And so I don't watch them at my own house, but I also in general, they really scare me. So, so I don't generally watch them, but MacDizzle and I will watch them with MacDizzle, my horror movie queen.
Yeah, because I'm just a little Scorpio who sits in her little den and tries to freak herself out with anxiety constantly.
Yeah. And
I watch scary movies by myself at night.
But it only works like half the time because you're like also the biggest movie critic ever.
Oh yeah,
you poke the fattest fucking holes in any movie. Like you're literally like, this sucks for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 reasons.
It's my dad's fault. My dad made me read way too much. I understand like just how things are written now. So if I'm like, why this would have had an easy solution, you could have come up with it. Why are we doing this?
Yeah, not original. Okay, so in our scary movie list, I have Scream, Freddy, the first Freddy. And what are the Jason ones?
I think you should just watch the third.
Well, you're watching it too.
Well, yeah. So Friday the 13th, the third one, because in the first 2 he doesn't have his mask yet, and in the first one he's not even the killer.
Oh wow.
Yeah, people don't even know that. People don't even know that Jason wasn't even the fucking killer in the first movie.
Yeah,
they just made the whole series about him.
Had no idea. That's really crazy.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's my list. I have 3 on
Child's Play. I did not like the Chucky series. Does that extra scare you?
Well, no. But it does scare me.
LOL.
Like I I remember being at one of my friend's houses. It was Lexi Novak's house.
Mm-hmm.
And I was sleeping in like the living room, and the TV was playing. Like it had, it played all night. I woke up at like 2 or 3 in the morning to Chucky. And this is at a time like where I really was not watching. Like I didn't watch a lot of scary movies when I was a kid. Like I would watch them like
to watch that kind of stuff when I was younger.
Okay, right. So I mean, yeah, I definitely like I watched sometimes like when you go like with a boy or whatever to a scary movie. But like it wasn't something that I like, thoroughly enjoyed. And I woke up at like, I don't know what time, and it's fucking Chucky playing, and I am like freaking out. Like there is multiple people sleeping in this living room. I have no idea where the remote is. I'm like trying to find the remote, frantically trying to find the remote to turn this off, or at least put it on mute or something like. And it was a very scary situation that I hated.
LOL.
And so
love that for you.
It just put me back in there. So
that reminds me of, that's so funny because I used to think that the Halloween series was fucking terrifying because I saw one of the Halloweens one time at a friend's house, and it was, so the way Halloween works is there have been different peoples who have done, like different directors who have done their version of what happens. Some people include the movies in the lore, and some people are like, oh no, those two movies don't count because these things happen. And like one of them, the main character Laurie Strode dies, which is Jamie Lee Curtis, and then they were like, oh, we're ignoring those 2 movies. She's still here. It's like they did there's like 10 movies. There's like so many movies.
I remember seeing something about how they like locked him in a basement.
Yeah, he should
in
be
a
dead.
burning house.
Yeah.
And he somehow still.
Yeah, he murked the fireman that saved him. It's crazy. Yeah. But so the movie that I saw was directed by Rob Zombie, and Rob Zombie is a huge horror guy. And that movie is extremely violent, and it also touches on like abuse in childhood and trauma and things like that. So it was just like extra scary in that kind of sense. Totally. Because it talks about how Michael started. It shows him as a kid and how he becomes Michael.
No, they show Michael's trauma.
Yeah, so they show him not like his trauma per se, but they show him like as a kid, like mutilating animals, like just like get like it, you see the arc of who Michael is, and you see like his home life, which is really terrible, like so it's like you just kind of see how he's created. And that's the very first Halloween that I ever saw, and so I thought all of them were just like fucking gut-wrenchingly scary. And then I watched the old ones, and I was like, oh, it's just a silly little slasher. The Rob Zombie one is fucking terrifying because it gets into like the psyche of it. It's so scary.
That also, I love a good like
origin story.
Well, psychological like thriller.
Yeah,
it's like still scary.
Machete is in that one. Machete is in that one. No, Machete. Do you know Danny Trejo?
Oh yeah, Danny Trejo.
I refer to him as Machete because that's like who he's known for.
Was he?
He's a nurse in the asylum that Michael is being kept at, and he was basically
what is Machete? What
Machete? It was a character. It's a movie. It's a whole series of movies. Machete is a movie series.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah. And he's like the guy who's in charge of spoilers, sorry, but he's the guy who's in charge of watching Michael, and he's like really good to Michael throughout his childhood. He like defends him from people who are like picking on him, and he's like, no, don't do that. Like, don't touch his masks, like blah, 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 blah. And then when Michael breaks out of the asylum, to really solidify who the fuck Michael is, he kills the fuck out of Machete. And Machete's like, I was good to you, Mikey. I was good. And he said, nope.
He said, oh, fuck.
No, and they really said, do you want to know who Michael is? Here he is on a platter.
So they because they make you feel a little bit of empathy for him. They're like, you see his like as a child, he's got a fucked up life, like whatever, and then you're like, oh dang it, shoot, oh he's just sad, and then they're like, here's this amazing father figure basically that he has that he's gonna just tear apart. So don't worry,
don't you worry about Michael.
It was bound to fool you.
Yeah, bound to happen.
He was a fucking. He's completely insane.
Yeah, really, literally fucking insane. Wow, we just crushed that hour though.
We sure did. We sure fucking did. I'm gonna read us a fan question, which if you didn't
Listener
know,
question.
we answer a question at the end of every episode. So ask us anything in the comments.
Ask me my bra
Make it weird if
size.
you want to. What? Oh, bra size?
Yeah, I don't even know it, honestly.
I know. Does anyone really know their fucking bra size? It's like the
according to Victoria's Secret or according to Target? What are we talking
right,
about here?
Exactly.
Because Victoria's Secret says I'm a 32 triple D.
Oh.
No, I'm just kidding. A 32 triple. But they always tell you your tits are huge there.
Yeah. The cups are like different.
Yeah. And then Target, they're like, oh, no, you're like a 38B.
You are not a 38B. Sorry for the burp, guys.
No, I'm definitely not.
Okay, so our question is, what changes do you hope to see in the industry, consumer or distribution side, other than full decriminalization, that could happen in the next few years? That's a really good question.
That is a good question. And mine is extremely self-centered. The first thing that popped to my mind was marketing budget, professionalism.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Okay, so to go from there, then you would go backwards and say less fucking taxes on these fucking companies. Stop taxing them so fucking much.
But
to
also
where they
on the
literally
same
and charging.
note,
No,
like
yes,
vape brands and people who don't have those problems, who don't have those taxes.
Yeah,
and they still are here like, oh, do an affiliate. Oh, do a shout out for this $30 vape that actually only costs 20 cents from China.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
what are we doing here? Stop.
Definitely. Yeah, so
do you think I do this for fun? Do you think I need 100 vapes?
Yeah. Yeah.
How many vapes does one person need? I'll answer you. 0. You don't need any vapes.
Yeah.
If you had a bong, that's a different story. I might, depending on the bong, give you a free shout out.
Because that makes it fun.
Yeah.
Well, wait, one more question from me to you. Why is Margaret Belinda May's door open?
Oh, because it's too humid in there, and I made some very real mistakes in her earlier processes, and now she's too tall. She's like touching the lights, which is creating a ton of humidity in there. So I just leave it open, and I'm like trying to adjust. Like some of my leaves are burning because they're like touching the lights. It's bad.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to like tie things down, pull things to the side, and like air it the fuck out. I open the door every day just because it's so humid in there.
Okay, I see.
Yeah, but at night, because the lights are off, it doesn't get too humid. But in the morning, it's supposed to be between like 50% and 70% humidity. In the mornings, it's at like 76. So I'm like, ugh. But when I go to bed at night, it's at like 55.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's not terrible.
Well, are you taking a bong rip?
Yeah.
Me too.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers, guys. Ilisum. All right. Wow.
Slay pussy purr.
Slay pussy purr, bitch. Thank you guys so much for listening. We love you.
We do. We'll see you guys next week. Make a choice to be good to yourself, be good to each other.
Period. Slay pussy purr, queen house down. Mama.
All right, we'll see you next time. Bye.